Today's cocktail that we're going to be doing is called an old fashioned. This is a very, very old cocktail, a classic cocktail, and a favorite among a lot of people that I know. We're down here at the Middle Spoon today on Barrington Street. My name's Jenner and I'll be your bartender. So this drink is built in the glass and we're just going to use a rocks glass today. So we're going to start off by adding in a little bit of sweetener. And for that we've got brown sugar cube. So next what we're going to do is add some citrus to this cocktail. So the recipe calls for a disc of orange. So what we did is cut the disc off of the actual orange. So we're going to remove a little bit of the pith off the back of the orange. Pith is the white part on the back. What that pith is going to do if you leave too much on the actual orange disc is it's going to cause the cocktail to bitter quickly. So we want to remove that without removing too much integrity from the actual back of that pith. Once we've got that pith trimmed down, I'm going to squeeze it over the top of the glass to release some of the oils and rub it around the rim of the glass. I'm also going to add in a disc of grapefruit. This is just a little customization. It's not called for in the recipe, but it adds a nice little citrus tone to the cocktail. Again, I'm going to squeeze it over the top, rub it around the rim of the glass. So the next step is to add our bitter. So today we're going to be adding two different types of bitters. First is an old-fashioned bitter. It's a combination of cinnamon, cloves, allspice, nutmeg, and some dried citrus. So we want to add about 2 dashes to saturate our sugar cube. That's equivalent to about 10 to 12 drops if you're using a dropper. And we're also going to be adding house bitter, which is an Angostura bitter. Combination again, similar types of flavors, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, those kind of Christmas flavors with some Angostura bark, some dried citrus, and even some dried cherries. So we're going to add the same amount as we did the first time. So either 2 dashes or 10 to 12 drops. If you're using dashers at home, the equivalent amount to add into your cocktail is about roughly 4 dashes. So we just want to saturate that sugar cube so it's easier to break apart. So once our sugar cube is saturated with bitters, we're now going to add a little bit of simple syrup. That's also going to aid in breaking up that sugar cube a little bit, and it's going to add just a little bit of sweetness. So we're going to add about a bar spoon worth of simple syrup. And the syrup that we're using today is actually a cherry wood wood chip. And what this is actual cherry wood that you would smoke meats with, and what we've done is warmed it in an oven and then put it into a simple syrup. Now that we've got all of our sweeteners and citrus in here, I'm just going to add a dash of water. And what that's going to do is help us break up, again, the sugar cube that's in the bottom. And we just want to lightly press the citrus peels in the bottom of our glass to extract some of the essential oils. We also want to break up that sugar cube to make it an even consistency in the bottom of the glass. We don't want that grainy consistency of the sugar cube to be floating around in the bottom, so we want to make sure it's broken up. The water will help with this. So now that we've got our glass all ready, our citrus is in, and we've got our bitters and our sweetener, we're going to add ice. So I've actually got a block of ice here today that we're going to break down to try to make a large ice cube. If you read traditional recipes with this cocktail, it calls for a lump of ice, not ice cubes. And what this will allow you to do is chill your cocktail very nicely without having to dilute it very much. So you're not losing too much flavor. So we're just going to break this down quickly. If you don't have an ice pick at home with a giant block of ice, what you can also do is purchase ice trays online that will make very nice ice cubes that are about 2 inches by 2 inches. There's silicone ice trays that are available online and they work great. So that's also an option. Everyone has their preferences when it comes to the spirits that you're going to use in these classic cocktails. Take your Manhattans or Rob Roy or an Old Fashioned, for example, between bourbon whiskey and rye whiskey. I like to use both so that we don't upset anybody. So what we're going to do is add about 1.25 ounces of rye with 1.25 ounces of bourbon. So now that everything's in our glass, we're going to give it a quick stir. We just want to chill that cocktail down. We don't want to dilute it too much. We want to help that sugar kind of break apart a little more in the bottom of the glass. The last step of this old fashioned, we're going to flame an orange over the top of the drink. What this is going to do is going to release a lot of the essential oils in the orange peel. We're going to get a nice orange aroma over the top of the drink. You can garnish your old fashioned in any way you want. A lot of people use an orange slice with some cherry or anything like that. It's totally up to you depending on what your preferences are. So we're just going to flame this orange very quickly. What we're going to do is heat the surface of the orange and extract all the oils. We're going to rub that orange around the rim of the glass again. And it's ready to drink. And there we have it, old-fashioned cocktail. So be sure to tune in next time. We've got some really interesting absinthe-themed cocktails lined up for next weekend for St. Patrick's Day. We'll see you then.